What's going on, YouTube? The Kryptonian here. First, I'd like to give a shout out to all my new subscribers. I mean, wow, guys, that's just crazy. 111 subs. I'm blessed, and I thank each and every one of you guys. And if you're new here and you like what you see, definitely, I hope you hit that subscribe button and check me out. Uh, Definitely, I try to talk about some good subjects here. So to get right into it, today's topic, what I want to talk about is the obelisk. Now, what brought this to my attention and why I want to talk about it is a lot of things. I'm going to get into it here, but let's look and see what it talks about here first based on Wikipedia. It says it's a tall, four-sided, narrow, tapering monument which ends in a pyramid-like shape or a pyramidon atop. These were originally called, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word, the ancient Egyptians. I know the Greeks used the term obelisks to describe the term as a word passed onto Latin and ultimately English. Alright, well, and what brought my attention, as you see here, here's some pictures. Please pay close attention to see the amount of the markers here, or tabs I got. I got quite a bit. And, my main question is, why are they everywhere? So, what brought it to my attention first and foremost was I was actually watching a video. And the video I was watching about was actually, had nothing to do with what I'm normally into here. It was actually just about them. The guy was actually just vlogging himself. And of course, we know like there's obelisks, the DC monument being a big prime example, or the Washington monument. There's going to be another video I'm going to make here soon that's going to talk more about something else that I've noticed here lately. But this is just as one of the examples. Another one, if you haven't checked out Lone Eagle's page yet, I highly suggest you do. He did bring up this park, which is Frogner Park. This one really grabbed my attention, which is, this really weird obelisk that's made out of human beings. And I got more that I'm going to talk about that later. But, I mean, looking at how it started in ancient Egypt, it was actually supposed to be for their god, their deity Ra, they believed. And they used to keep these at the front of the temples. Now, in my research, I discovered that some of them have actually moved over to the United States. In places like New York. I mean, look, even if you look up here in the comment, you see Istanbul, Black, Minecraft. Well, I know Minecraft's a game. But it made me think more, and like even in Rome, in front of the Vatican. It just doesn't make sense. Why are these things everywhere? I mean, did the builders know something something about them that maybe we don't? I mean, they're all over Rome. But as I started digging more and more into it, I started seeing it everywhere. So then, I started asking Google questions like, well, maybe the Mayan obelisks. I did notice this one in Ethiopia that kept grabbing my attention. I mean, this is at the Dallas Museum of Art Antiquities. But yeah, apparently the Mayans even had an obelisk. Which is, again, that's crazy. So then I thought, well, what about cities? I mean, guys, these things are everywhere. Look at this. I mean, yeah, someone brought Egypt, but it's like found around the world. I don't understand why these obelisks are everywhere. And I mean, guys, when I mean everywhere, I mean everywhere. Now, this is what brought my attention was the YouTuber I was watching. He was actually at the Bellagio, and when he was filming, I saw it in the background, and it was like, why is this in this building? What is the purpose of having an obelisk in Vegas? And then, as you see here, as I was scrolling and looking at this, it just got more and more to where it made me say, I was curious to know how many obelisks were in the world. It says, for the 21 ancient obelisks still standing, Egypt itself can claim fewer than only 5 now. Rome boasts 13, all snatched from the land of the pharaohs in Rome times, and the rest are spread from Istanbul to New York City. So, then I decided, because when I was looking at the one that was at the Bellagio, I realized there was another one at the Luxor. This one I don't understand at all. Like, the only thing, I mean, I understand they're doing an Egyptian theme, but apparently they not only have one at this one, you drive through it in the front, but they also have one at the front of their hotel. This is the one that's at the front of their hotel. So then I started wondering, are they in cities? And of course, some of you know I'm from here in Orlando, but I've lived in Denver, Colorado. And sure enough, here it is. I mean, right out front of the Capitol building. And then I happen to wonder if there was any more in Vegas besides at the Bellagio and the Luxor, and here's the one for Caesars. Caesar's Palace has one too. And don't get me started on that. I already have an issue with even the spelling of the name. So I thought, what other cities? Let me check. So I went into Los Angeles. These are all the ones that apparently are around LA. Which makes 0 sense. Why? Why are all these things all over the place? Then, of course, since I'm here in Orlando, Florida, I decided, well, are they in my city? Let me take a look. Yep. They're in Australia, too. I mean, that's just... There's more to Australia. That's why Newcastle. I was curious to look at this one. I mean, it was very odd. Then I said, well, let me see if they're in England. Iraq. Germany. I mean, these are all over the globe. There's got to be a meaning to all this. North Korea. Japan. I mean, look at that. This one apparently has got his own Wikipedia page about it. Dalhousie Obelisk. Texas. Texas seems to be shifting a lot lately with weird things showing up. I know there's I mentioned it on Scare Performance. It was based upon one of Lone Eagle had been told about the Texas wall. So I started to wonder, maybe these things are kind of like ancient Tesla coils. Maybe they're collecting energy. So I started looking up to see, as far as is granted a good electricity conductor. I know back in ancient Egypt they used a lot of granite, and then at the Washington D.C. obelisk has actually a combination of marble, granite, and blue nis. I believe that's how they pronounce. They all can produce electricity. There was talks about how it can actually be used. I did come across this article right here. Ancient power sources of the gods, advanced technology of our ancestors. You know what sounds crazier? The Egyptian pyramids producing wireless energy are transporting stone blocks that weigh over 100 tons using wooden rollers. Now, I don't know about most of you guys, but, and I'll just look that one up here to show that I know that there was an ancient, what do they call them, hieroglyph that showed electricity. I learned to spell too, man. Glass. So, you know, if any of you have ever watched Ancient Aliens, or, I mean, that's where I got this information about what they believe this image right here depict that they actually had electricity back then. I don't know. But, as you see, I did ask that, and then I was even curious to see if there was a geometry that associated with it. Now, I'm no scientist, so I can't really 100% say for sure, but there was something with it. Maybe you're seeing this and you can figure it out. Let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. And then I got to give a shout out to Lone Eagle because I was watching the rest of his live stream from yesterday, and he brought up this place as the towers. He didn't even see what I saw. Which, I mean, he mentioned one, this building. I mean, look. That's just straight Obelisk 2 as a building. Why? I mean, it was it maybe an ancient power, you know, building? I don't know. But definitely, I would suggest checking that out. I even went as far as trying to go into Sweden. They're there too. I did try to look on CERN, but I didn't find anything on that. If you guys happen to see one on the property somewhere, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to know that. But I mean, you see they're all over the place over here too, especially in Sweden. So then, you know, as I was digging and I was wondering maybe these obelisks were collecting power, I ran across this article here on finetubes.co.uk. I guess they basically, from what I was reading in the article here, they were able to utilize solar power through it. And then, you know, as I was looking at it more and more, just curious as far as maybe this is some connection to a Tesla coil, I came across this web page here, abovetopsecret.com forum. This guy actually said something about this, but it was just talking about in Colorado Springs, actually. Just one spot. Notice the date, December 21st of 2012. He basically is saying here that this part came to fruition. Excuse me if I said that wrong. Back in 2005, but he feels that it's something more to it. I mean, definitely, if you guys want to, I'll include the link to the article in the description below on this video so you can look it over yourselves. Yeah, he basically feels that the materials of it, and there was more to it. So he included these pictures, actually, which was, man, I was so glad when he ran across this. But I guess here's the first one, and this is somewhere near NORAD down in Colorado Springs. I just ran across this today, right before I was about to put out the video. So I read the whole article, and he brought up the materials of it, and then it has the quantum gate. Now look at that right there, people. That is crazy. Because to me, it looks like almost two obelisks, and even though it's a circle, if you put that Shiva symbol, that's CERN right there. But that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think. I apologize that I was delayed on getting this out. I wanted to at least, give enough information here to at least throw together and see what you guys thought about this being all over the place like they are. I got another one coming out soon. I'm going to actually want to talk a little bit more about some soft disclosure as well as reptilians. And just some things I've noticed here that I'm going to bring to just your guys' attention and see what you guys think. So I appreciate you guys checking it out. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and take care. Bye.